1. So a few years ago, I used to work at the headquarters of the biggest bookstore chain in my country. I worked at the shipping department, and one of my jobs was to take the new books that arrived, weigh them, note the number of pages down, and add these to the database and the website for people to order. Now, the company headquarters, where the shipping department was, were right above the main bookstore of the chain. That meant that every day I had to go downstairs with 2 colleagues, collect the new arrivals and take them upstairs. So one day I went to the first floor, where the kids' book section is, to pick up the books I had to weigh that day. I had to collect about 7 books, so I decided to carry them all at once. I stacked these books, and then I started carrying them. Mind you, these books were heavy as hell, but I really wanted to be done with that instead of having to climb 4 flights of stairs twice. Enter EK. One of the books I happened to carry was a newly arrived children's book, and unfortunately it was pretty visible, due to the colors on the side, etc. The moment the kid spots the book I'm carrying, it starts screaming, "Mom! Dad, there it is! There it is!" I didn't pay much attention, and I moved towards the stairs. Then I hear the ED say, "Go ahead, take it." I thought he meant go and get the book from the shelves that had just been placed on, so I turned my back and kept walking. Then suddenly I hear a voice shouting, "Excuse me!" pretty loud. I turn around and the EM was standing there looking at me. Before I could say anything, she goes, "How dare you turn your back to my son?" I don't understand. "You work here and that's how you treat customers who want to buy your products?" "Ma'am, I don't work in this department. If you're looking for a specific book, you can ask the people that work here." "Well, your tag says that you work here." "The tag says I work in this company, not in this specific department. Please let me do my job." "How dare you talk to us like that? Now hand over this book, my son needs it." Now mind you, this book was the 4th of the stack, so I had to leave the heavy stack somewhere, give him the book, and then lift it again. Also, I had started to feel the strain on my arms, and I just wanted to go upstairs and finish my job. Well, unfortunately, I cannot give you this specific book, but they just arrived, and if you go to the shelves back there, you'll find more copies of it.
"But I want this one." "You heard my son. Now give me this book you're holding or I'll call your manager."
"Miss, I can't do that." Then suddenly the kid comes up to me and tries to reach for the book to grab it. I try to move away, but it was too late. The kid, instead of grabbing the book, which was impossible because it had 3 books on top of it, drops the whole stack that falls down. Now, most of the books were ruined, not completely ruined, but bent cover and a couple of torn pages. We obviously cannot sell books like that, so that was damage done. "Well, you see what you did. You almost injured my son." I grabbed the book from the floor, it had a bent cover, and handed it to the kid. "Happy now?"
"Do you expect me to pay for this ruined book? It's your fault, and you're a dangerous man, almost injuring my son."
At that moment, my manager, who was one of the best people I have ever met and really liked me a lot, comes. The EM and ED are screaming at him to get me fired for causing harm to their beloved son, who was just silently browsing other books as if nothing had happened, and that I had to pay for the book personally. Yeah, not company money, but for the book price to be withheld from my salary. Then my manager says, "We have CCTV. Please wait right there so we can check your accusations because they are serious." The moment he said that, all the colors left EM's face. She started saying the typical,
"You don't need to. It's not necessary."
But nothing came out of it. Now the security room is directly upstairs. As I said, it was the HQ of the entire company, so the process only took about half an hour. I had to remain downstairs with the entitled family who gave me glaring looks all that time. In the end, they had to pay full price for all the books they ruined, which was a lot, mind you. And then they had to take them with them. In the end, though, the EK took the book he wanted. 2. Cast list. EM entitled Mum, EK entitled Kid, me, LH1 Lobby Hostess 1, LH2 Lobby Hostess 2, M Manager. I missed the 7 p.m. bus home and had to wait until the 8 p.m. I didn't want to be sitting outside at a bus stop for an hour, so I went to the only place open that wasn't a pub, McDonald's. I ordered myself some fries and a Coke and sat down, pulled out my iPad Pro and started doing some drawing. I was working on a piece that is taking me forever to finish, but I'm really proud so far. Headphones on, clearly not wanting to be disturbed. At first I feel something tugging at the booth behind mine. I assume some people are sitting down. Whatever, I'm not really paying attention. Then I feel a hand leaning on the nape of my neck. Obviously, I turned around like WTF. It was EK, about 6 or 7. I'm bad with kids' ages, but they were wearing a school uniform. Leaning on the back of my booth and basically hovering over me, trying to get a look at what I'm drawing.
Isn't he just an angel, bless him, trying to join in with you?
I was tired and didn't want to encourage the kid, so I just did that pained grin that we British do, nodded and turned back to my table. Everything was quiet for 5 minutes, before someone joins me in my booth. EK. I take off my headphones and ask him what he's doing.
Mummy said I could play.
I'm sorry? She says from the other booth on her phone.
He just wants to do some drawing on your pad. He's a really good drawer.
I say to the kid, I'm really sorry, little dude, but I can't let you use this. There's some coloring sheets over there if you want to use them. Then you and your mummy can draw together.
No thanks. You can use those if you want. I'm gonna play with this.
He tried to grab it, but I quickly shut my cover over the front and pulled both my pen and my pad to the other side of the table. I'm sorry, but you can't use this. It's for grown-ups only. You can have those coloring sheets. With this, the kid pouted for a second before slinking back to his mum in their booth. Not even 30 seconds later, I feel a sharp stab in my back. I turn around to see a furious-looking EM leaning over her table, staring at me.
Let my son use the pad.
No.
You can't hog the damn thing. Let my son have a go.
Excuse me, this is my iPad. At this point, the shrillness of EM's voice had gotten nearby people's attention, including the LH1 who came over to us. This McDonald's had a few staff disabilities, and LH was one of them. Is everything okay?
This girl won't let my son use the iPad.
It's hers, isn't it?
No, she's just saying it is, so she doesn't have to let my son use it.
Whose iPad is it? It's mine. I don't know why she keeps trying to get it.
Liar, it's the store's.
Now, admittedly, some more kid-friendly McDonald's do have tablets for the kids to use. But this was a fucking iPad Pro. Nah, fam. Sorry, miss, we don't have any of those here.
Oh, fuck off, you stupid.
And then she said a word that dignified people wouldn't repeat, but it rhymed with elastic.
You don't know shit.
What the... LH1 looks really upset and goes away, leaving EM looking triumphant. I know this isn't good for me, so I grab my stuff and shove it into my backpack. She starts pointing and screaming,
Thief! She's stealing an iPad! Someone call the police!
At this point, everyone in the vicinity was staring at me, and I feel like I was gonna puke to death from panic. LH2 enters, with LH1 standing behind her, tears in her eyes. Excuse me, ma'am.
What?
Did you shout at and insult LH1 and this lady here?
I did no such thing. I only said the truth. The facts aren't rude.
She kept trying to get the girl's thing. My iPad.
It's not yours, you dumb bitch.
That's it. LH1, go get him. LH1 goes for the manager, and EM crosses her arms and sits back into her seat.
Finally, someone with a brain. Gonna get you arrested, you stupid bitch.
And she also said some unsavory words about the employee, too, thinking she would get them fired. Eventually, the manager came with LH1, who I think had been crying, the poor girl.
Excuse me, ma'am, I'm afraid you are going to have to leave. What? Why should I have to leave? I did nothing wrong. You've been seen by multiple people harassing both customers and staff. You are no longer welcome at this branch. If you want me to refund or pack your food before you go, I will, but you need to leave now.
She huffs and screeches, standing up, flipping her tray with her food and drinks on it, at me, but luckily it misses, and hits her side of the booth. She then starts cursing and insulting handicapped people and calling us idiots.
Have fun cleaning that, you little bitch,
she says to LH1. EM grabs EK, who during all this was scribbling on the coloring sheets that you're supposed to pull off and draw on. He decided to draw on the majority of them, doing one scribble before moving on to the next one. Am sent LH1 and LH2 on their breaks, and got someone else to clean the mess whilst he talked to me, and asked if I wanted to file an incident report or wanted my meal refunded. I thanked him, but I really needed to go catch my bus. and just wanted to get the hell out of there. I thanked him for standing up for me. I never want to go through something like this again. But I draw my best outside of my house, so stay tuned, I guess. And I just want to say thanks to the workers of McDonald's and how well they handled this. I really do appreciate it. 3. EK, entitled Karen. IK, innocent kid. EP, employee. So I was sitting in KFC playing on my phone when an innocent kid, IK, saw I was playing and asked what game I was playing.
Hey mister, what game is that?
Oh, it's called Jetpack Joyride. You basically have to try to go the furthest without touching lasers or rockets, even zappers.
Oh, cool.
And proceeds to go back to his mum. Mind you, I'm sitting at my table waiting for my food to be called.
Excuse me, can my son play on your phone? I don't have that game installed and I can't find it.
Apparently, she doesn't know what Google Play Store is. Sorry, ma'am, but I can't, as I recently got this phone and don't want anything bad happening to it. But the app is on the Play Store if you want to download it.
I have no data on my phone.
She said this with a slight smirk.
And my son really wants to play it.
Look, I would if I could, but I also need my phone as I'm waiting on a very important phone call, which should be happening any time now. This was a lie. I just want her to go away and leave me alone.
Obviously you're not, as I can clearly see you're playing a game.
Yeah, I'm playing a game to pass the time. Doesn't stop me from answering calls. She huffed and stormed off. I heard my order being called and decided to go collect it from the counter. Me being me, I decided to leave my phone on the table. And boy, I shouldn't have done that. When I got back, it was gone, and I immediately looked at EK's table, and my phone was in her hand as she gave it to IK. I go to her table. Excuse me, what in the hell do you think you're doing taking my phone?
I told you my son wanted to play your game, and what IK wants, IK gets.
You have to the count of 3 to hand it back before I get the police involved. IK goes to hand me the phone back when EK takes it out of his hand.
I told you my son wanted to play in your game.
I start to count with my hand. EK calls someone over. What seems to be the problem, ma'am?
This guy is trying to steal my phone.
EM looks at me.
Is this true, sir?
If it was true, do you think I would still be standing here? The truth is that this lady took my phone off my table when I went to grab my order, and will not give it back.
You fucking liar.
You see this watch. I point to my watch. It's a smartwatch. And the beauty of this thing is that it has a Find My Phone feature, which when pressed, will make my phone make an audible noise. EK starts to lose her color a little bit and thinks I'm bluffing. Shall I show you?
I just realized I'm late for an appointment.
No, you sit right fucking there. I tap my watch a few times, and to her amazement, my phone actually went off in her hand.
Sorry, that's my notification sound.
I proceed to press my watch again, to which the phone went off again. Ma'am, I suggest you give this guy his phone back. Everyone is staring at this point, with my anxiety skyrocketing. I hate being the center of attention. I managed to snatch the phone back and looked at EM. Here's how I can prove this is my phone. There are 3 ways of unlocking it. Facial recognition, biometrics, fingerprint, and the good old password. I unlocked all 3 times. And to add insult to injury, I proceeded to show my ID to the employee, saying, keep a note of this. I proceeded to check my gallery while she was looking at my ID. I always keep a picture of my ID on my phone just in case it gets stolen, and if I have no chance of getting it back, I wipe it clean. The employee checks the picture. Want me to call security? Yes, please. I got my phone back and allowed IK to play a game or two whilst his mum was ranting and raving about how they should believe her and I was allowed to steal her phone. It turns out, from what IK was telling me, this isn't the first time it happened. My meal was refunded and basically on the house because of all the trouble. How I love Karens. 4. So for context, I sell cars for a dealership. We had a car on the lot that was starting to get aged, so we brought the price down a little bit. A girl comes in with her EP. They hand me some printouts of cars they would like to look at. I bring the cars around and we go for a drive. The girl absolutely loves the first car we drove, so we go back to the desk to write things up. EM then asks what her work discount would be. Sometimes we run discounts for people who work in certain fields. I explained that the car was already on sale and therefore could not be discounted anymore. The EM immediately gets furious.
This is ridiculous. My daughter is entitled to that discount, and nowhere does it state that it doesn't apply to already discounted cars. If I go to the store that offers a military discount, they don't deny me just because something is already on sale.
As an ex-retail employee, I know this not to be true. Ma'am, I understand your concern, but the car is very aggressively priced as is, and we cannot offer a greater discount. But I will go to my sales manager and see what we can do.
Yes, you should do that.
I then walked to my sales manager and asked him about it. After that, we found out that we have brought the car down to cost. There was a total of $435 profit in this $22,990 car. For those who don't know, that's not very much. Remember, this doesn't include what they have to pay me for selling the car. But he then comes back and says he will give them $200 off. After some service costs and my commission, that will make the car break even. Well, great news. He said we didn't have much, but we could give you a little more of a discount. This way, we will essentially break even in this car.
No, that doesn't work at all. $200 is hardly a discount on a $23,000 car. And that can't seriously be the discount she's entitled to.
Ma'am, this is better than the discount she would have gotten on the car. And at this price, we are not making money. We are simply breaking even.
When did you take the car in?
About a month ago.
Is this a joke? You have a car you're trying to get rid of, and you are not offering us the discount we are entitled to.
Keep in mind that the daughter is buying the car, the 27-year-old daughter. The parents aren't even co-signing. Ma'am, yes, the car has been here a little while, but we are not prepared to take a loss on it. At this price, we are going to break even, and that is what we feel comfortable doing on this car.
You had better go talk to your boss again. I'll bet he disagrees.
I then go to the manager again, and he reluctantly takes off another $200. We are now losing money on the car. Well, after talking to the manager, our final offer is $400 off. I then hold out my hand to shake hers.
Wow! You guys clearly don't understand how any of this works. You have a car here that you are begging people to take, and we are trying to buy it for the right price. Sometimes you have to take a loss on inventory that no one else wants. Then you make it up on another car. Duh!
Ma'am, at its new pricing, we have appointments on it. We aren't prepared to lose more than $200 on the car. I'm sorry.
Well, where's her discount? You advertise this discount and you're not giving it to her. That's false advertising.
Ma'am, I have already explained that we are giving her the best discount we can offer. This discount is far better than what we advertised. At this point, we are done. If you want the car at this price, then buy it. If not, then don't.
You will not talk to me like that. You are here to work a deal, and once we feel we are getting a deal, we will buy a car.
Ma'am, this is the final price. Period. Take it or leave it. I took a commission cut to give you this discount, I might add.
I don't care about your commission. You probably fuck other people out of their money. You finally have a customer who knows how this all works, and you are trying to fuck us too.
Ma'am, have a great rest of your day. Finally, the daughter speaks up. Sir, I will buy the car at that price. Okay, please sign here. The EM continued acting like a brat the entire time we were filling out the paperwork. She continued to try and argue, and she would catch her daughter's hand and tell her to wait before signing. Finally, a manager had to ask EM to leave. The daughter continued to buy the car after the mom had left, and was actually very pleasant. Even agreed to buy me dinner since I was losing commission. 5. This has happened to me on several occasions, but one EP really stood out as a shining example of shooting the messenger. So for context, I work at a nursing home that allows dogs, once visitors have their veterinarians, fill out paperwork, proving their vaccinations and flag any behavioral problems. It's a little tedious, but if someone got bitten on the property, it would be lawsuit city. I sometimes work the front desk covering for people, and it's my job to stop visitors and request a pass for each pet. Cast, EM entitled Mom. SK1, Sweet Kid 1, about 12. SK2, Sweet Kid 2, about 8. Me, duh. NS, Nice Supervisor. So I'm covering a lunch break at the front desk when I see SK1 and SK2 walk in with a dog on a leash. It's the tiniest, fluffiest little teddy bear-looking dog, but it still needs to be signed in to visit. Hey, do you have a pet pass for your dog?
Our mom does, I think. She's parking the car.
That's cool. You guys can just hang out here for a few until she gets here, okay?
Sure.
We wait a few minutes for their mom to come in, while I look through the registry of allowed pets and I don't see their dog listed. So I know there's gonna be some friction, as most people don't want to turn around and leave once they've gotten their dog to the facility. In comes EM. She gets to the desk and her kids ask if she has the pet pass. She scowls and shoots me the filthiest look.
The what?
A pet pass for your dog.
Excuse me? I've been coming here for a month and I've never had to get any sort of pass for him.
This unfortunately happens because either some people at the front desk don't see the dog, the desk comes up to nearly eye level sitting down, or feel too awkward to stop people. However, asking for a pass is still policy, and I can't control what other employees do. Well, they should have asked you for a pass. I can give you an application for one if you'd like.
What? Now I have to fill out a special application. Look at him. He's been here before and nothing bad has happened.
I believe you, but I can't let him in without a pass.
This is such bullshit. He's a therapy dog, look.
Ian proceeds to shove the dog's therapy card 2 inches from my nose, causing me to jolt backwards, because I thought she was gonna punch me. I look at the card and see that he's certified. This actually changes things a little, because there is a program that schedules therapy dog visits to make rotations around the units, but not as personal visitors, so I'm not sure where this falls policy-wise. Let me call a supervisor who can sort this out for you.
Oh great. Call a goddamn supervisor.
I call the supervisor, who tells me that EM definitely still needs a pet pass to come in, at which point EM is frothing at the mouth. So I ask for NS to come up and speak with her. Meanwhile, EM is on a rampage.
This is such bullshit. No one has ever stopped me here before. Look!
She proceeds to shove her phone in my face with pictures of the dog in the building on it. I understand, but I can't control what other employees do here. I just need to do my job and stop you.
Glad to know that no one for the past month has done their job at all.
At this point, the usual receptionist walks by on her break, and EM latches onto her.
Like her!
She points at the receptionist.
I see her here all the time, but she's never stopped me.
The receptionist looks startled and wisely gets out of this situation to enjoy the rest of her break. Also, she is much shorter than me, and I have trouble seeing over the desk at times, so I understand how it's tough to see if someone's holding a leash unless they mention it or the dog is making a noise. That was an oversight, but I can't control what others do. I still need to do my job.
Oh, that's great. Everyone does such a fantastic job here. The security guard never stopped me. Good to know the Unabomber could just walk in and no one would do anything.
Mom, chill out. They're gonna get someone.
Look, the security guard isn't even here. Glad to know no one cares about security in this place.
The security guard was a temp and away doing rounds. I agree there should be more than one for situations like this, but once again, I don't control those policy decisions. And she is screaming in my face. Now NS gets up here, and she is awesome. She has the best soothe the beast voice that she brings out for situations like this, and I am super grateful because I'm just covering the lunch break and can't deal with this shit. NS proceeds to do the "I understand, I hear you" routine to the hysterics, while explaining to her that she needs the paperwork filled out. She complains she just went to the vet this weekend and has to go back for paperwork. Only she put it more colorfully than that. Mom, you're making a scene, calm down.
Say that to me one more time and you'll be sorry.
By now, a bunch of supervisors have arrived and explain that they can call her vet quickly and ask about the vaccinations, and if the dog has had its major shots, they'll let her through. She reluctantly allows them to call her vet while she fills out some basic information, and NS explains to the vet that this is unusual and normally they would submit the papers to them, but they're trying to rush this nutcase through. They hear that the major shots are confirmed and she gets to go through. Any other visitor would have had to leave until the paperwork was filled out entirely, but it goes to show that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Apparently, she showed up again the next day with the dog off the leash, and this whole charade repeated again when she wouldn't just put it back on its leash. The worst part is, the dog seemed distressed by the screaming and was quietly whimpering the whole time EM went on a tirade. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to the Impractical Proudness of Parents. I Pop. number 34. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. Okay, when's this go up? Sunday, right. A word about streaming. I'm not feeling so great right now, so I'm not sure if we'll be streaming. I might be feeling better by the time Sunday comes. I'm actually recording this on late on Thursday night. I may be feeling better by the time Sunday comes, so if I am, I'll stream, but no guarantees at the moment. Obviously, I want to conserve my energy and make sure I'm able to continue producing the daily videos. Okay, and with that, I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.